Morning, everybody. Or I guess it's good morning with all that's going on in the world. Who knows anymore? Um, just had a lot on my mind here lately about the state of our country, state of the world, um, all these conflicts, all this hatred. Um, it's everywhere you look anymore. I mean, people are like, "Oh, unplug." What? You can't. I mean, there's no unplugging from this. And honestly, I don't know if unplugging is the right thing to do. I mean, I believe that from what we've seen over the past, I don't know, 6 years, 7 years, that probably plugging in is probably the best thing that you can do. Um, we've got all these crises, however you say it, in America right now, and we're like a ship that's out in the sea, just getting tossed and turned, and there's nobody at the helm. Um, Afghanistan. I mean, what can I say about that that's not been said already? Um, it's a cluster. I mean, we got people still trapped there, Americans, citizens, people that helped us while we were there, and what's going to happen to them? I honestly and I really don't want to think this way. I truly don't. But did anybody give any thought to this whatsoever? Surely to God, with as many people in our government, paid contractors, people that make a lot of money to game this stuff out, scenario this stuff. I mean, did nobody just think before we did this? It's like, I'm a proponent of leaving Afghanistan. 20 years is a long time. 20 years, I mean, that's a little less than half my life that we've been in Afghanistan. A lot of lives, a lot of money spent there. But to see that it was like all that was for nothing and then we're leaving people behind, I mean, that's not the right way to do it. But we have no leadership. We have no leadership. And people have been screaming this since even back before the 2020 elections. We knew this. Everybody knew this. Everybody knew that our current president wasn't physically or mentally capable of handling it. And that's not saying anything against him. He's just old. I mean, all this stuff's going on, and he needs a 4 day. You know, Afghanistan's falling apart. COVID seems to be on the rise. We've got half of South America and all the other countries that can make it south of our border trying to get to our border. And he decides he needs a 4 day weekend. He decides it's time to, he needs to relax a little bit. Which makes me wonder who in the hell's even making these decisions. I mean, you can say what you want to about Trump. I mean, hell, you can say what you want to about Obama. I'm no fan of Obama, not even at all. But let's just take Trump out of the equation. Say what you want to about Obama. But if there was a crisis, I mean, at least Obama was there. I mean, at least he was present. Whether I agreed with what he did or not, at least there was somebody there. I mean, taking reins and doing something. And Trump, there was no president that I can remember that had the work ethic of Trump. Whether you love him or hate the man, I mean, his days were from daylight till dark. And I can guarantee you that if he was still in the White House, that he would be there right now. There wouldn't be any question. There would be no question of who the leadership is. Will Afghanistan go any different than it's going? I believe so, but I don't know that for sure. I know the border crisis wouldn't be here. I know we wouldn't be having this influx of people coming into our country. I don't think the Taliban would have tested Trump like they basically steamrolled Biden. I don't think the Chinese Communist Party would be threatening Taiwan and telling Taiwan that they need to take a close look at Afghanistan if if they believe that the United States has their back when a conflict breaks out. Not if, when. We're facing perilous times right now, and I just don't think the answer is to unplug. I think you need to plug in. I think you need to try to absorb as much of this information as you possibly can without driving yourself crazy. And people need to get out of their boxes. People in the right need to get out of their comfort zone of the echo chambers of the conservative Inc., toe the company line Republicans, and people on the left need to get out of their box too. Because this doesn't just affect one party, one idea. This affects everybody. If our country falls, and it's looking pretty bleak. Inflation through the roof. Hell, I went to the grocery store the other day and got like 4 bags of groceries. It was like $70. You can pay anybody minimum wage. I mean, you can raise minimum wage to $200 an hour, but if it costs $15,000 a grocery trip to live, what does that mean? You're still poor. You make more money on paper, but you're still not going to survive. I don't think these people even understand these basic concepts. I mean, me as somebody that's, I keep an eye on politics. I'm not a scholar or a PhD, but I mean, to me, it looks like you got a bunch of elementary schools up there trying to solve quantum physics and failing badly. You've got a media that they're finally asking questions. I mean, it only took people holding on with their last gasp of energy to a plane that is taking off out of Afghanistan and falling to their death for them to start actually asking questions, for them to actually start questioning this administration. They've not questioned the COVID response whatsoever. So we've been at COVID since March 2020. And now it looks like we're going to go back since the plan for March 2020 worked so well. It looks like we're going to implement that plan all over again with the masks. And they're like, "Oh, but you vaccinated. If you would, everybody would just get vaccinated." No. That's not how it works. Because the COVID virus is built on the back of the common cold. And I say built. I don't want to get a strike or get banned from any social media. So I will say that it was built or developed because nobody knows. I mean, you have one people saying one thing that it come from a bat from a wet market, and you have other people, well, it come from a lab. Pretty sophisticated just to come from a bat from a wet market, but whatever. Anyway, it's on the common cold, and the common cold mutates. It mutates to survive. That's why it's been around. That's why there's no, you take medicine when you get the cold. There is no vaccine for the cold. It'll mutate. And COVID is going to be here long after we're gone, folks. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Everybody wants to get back to normal. Well, this is the normal. So we can either learn to live with it or we can't. And as far as the vaccines are concerned, they're telling people to have a booster now. So and it'll be a booster the next time, and then it'll be a booster the next time. And I'm not telling you whether to go get the shot or not get the shot. That's not. I'm not a doctor. But what I am telling you is that vaccinated or unvaccinated, people are going to get sick. And can we lose it all? I mean, do we lose it all for cancer, for people that die with cancer? Do we lose it all for people that die with AIDS? Do we lose it all for veterans who have spent 20-some years in a sandbox pushing forward a nation-building type of American agenda that come home and blow their brains out? And I can only imagine how they feel right now, seeing their buddies die, having nightmares about what they saw, what they witnessed, what they went through. And then to see that this is how it all ends. And like I said, I'm no proponent of staying in Afghanistan or reinvading Afghanistan. I'm no proponent of being in the Middle East at all. But what I am a proponent of is the people that are in charge actually having a plan. I'm in charge. I'm in favor of the people who are supposed to lead our country to lead. You know, I see all these Republicans coming out, especially like a Republican like Mitt Romney coming out, smashing Biden over Afghanistan. Well, Mitt, this is the leadership you wanted. You know, you and the rest of your moral Republicans that as that Time magazine article put it, helped to secure the 2020 election. So don't come out and throw stones now. You knew. You all knew. And America knew. Anybody that paid attention, we all knew Biden was a puppet. We knew Biden wasn't up to this. And it makes me wonder who's making these decisions. It's not him. I mean, if he can't stay in the White House during all, I mean, with all these, if Trump had left the White House with just one of these crises happening and took a 4-day weekend, people would be losing their minds. Same thing for Obama. If Obama, people would be losing their minds. But Biden takes a 4-day. And it's okay. Because everybody knows Biden's not the one making the decisions. I don't know who is, but it's surely not him. I mean, he's not doing this. And that makes you wonder where we are as a country. Makes you wonder where we are as a nation. Makes you wonder where we are as a people. If the people and the media can see all that's going on and not ask questions. If it takes graphic video or graphic footage coming out of Afghanistan to get the media to actually start asking questions with all that was going on prior to Afghanistan, I mean, what hope do we have as regular people here? What hope do we have as a people who just want to live our lives in the Constitution, in the freedoms that are afforded us for being Americans? I can see why people are depressed. I can see why people want to unplug. I'm depressed. I mean, you know, looking at all this stuff, it's very overwhelming. It's overwhelming to sit and watch things just fall apart. I don't know how else to put it other than that. I don't know where we go from here. I mean, I really don't. I don't know if there's any bringing this back. I would hope. But, you know, serious times call for serious people. And there's very few people in D.C. that are too serious about anything except enriching themselves. We've got serious threats in this world. I mean, serious threats. And serious threats, they require serious people. Joe Biden and his administration aren't serious. And if you think they are, I don't know what world you're watching. I don't know what reality that you're seeing, because it's different than the reality I see. It's different than the reality that a lot of people see. But just know that regardless, we're all in this together. I mean, we're here together. And we can all grab a hold of the rudder and let it drag us to the bottom, or we can come together as a people and put the petty bullshit aside and try to get our country back to what it was, to where it was a beacon of freedom for all the world, to where the rest of the world didn't hate us. to where that we don't have other countries threatening our allies and our own citizens questioning whether we would be able to help our allies. That's a scary damn thing, folks. Scary damn thing. But that's reality now. Or as they say, that's the new normal. Just pray is all I can tell you. Just pray and try to get through the information, and I get it. I get it. You can't just continue to watch it. It makes you sick. It disgusts you, because it disgusts me. But we've got to know what's going on. Being asleep at the wheel, being an American people that are worried about our possessions and about our jobs and about our careers, and not paying any attention to the politics of America is what's got us here. And we can disagree. I disagree with friends all the time. We can agree to disagree on policy issues. But as long as we can all agree that America is America and it's a place where people are free to disagree and have that freedom, we're good. Y'all have a good day.